Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. My name is Jack and this is your match reaction. Manchester United 1, Fulham 0. 3 points on the board. United are top of the table after the first game of the season. And look, I'm delighted with the result. I'm delighted with the 3 points. Performance, hit and miss a little bit, but I think there are a lot of positives to take from it. But as always, guys, we're going to be talking to some of the channel members. Ben and Chris are with us as usual. And like I said, if there's any other channel members that do want to come on live with us, the link is in the community tab on the YouTube homepage. Chris, I'll go to you first. What do you think? 3 points on the board. Zirkzee with a debut goal. Hit and miss at stages, but look, job done.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I mean, Zirkzee, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's quite fit yet, but he's a big boy. But hey, I mean, I can't complain. We had enough opportunities that we should have. I mean, it could have easily been 3-0.
Yeah.
I think we maintained the ball well. Maguire played really, really well. I can't lie. I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
Saved us in the second half, and then I think we showed a little bit of the makings of what we can do if when we possess the ball and start to do things. I like the way Zirkzee played when he comes back. He, like you said a couple times, Jack, he finds the pockets as he comes back. But the problem is I don't think we're ready to look for that because we've never really had a player that does that. So
yeah,
I mean, I like what it looks like it can be at that point.
Yeah. Happy days. Ben, what did you make of it? Obviously, 3 points on the board, top of the table. A lot of positives to take from it. Any concerns or anything you noticed yourself about, or are you just happy with the 3 points?
I'm happy with the 3 points. I'm happy how we played. We were just lacking that finisher, weren't we?
Yeah. That focal point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think with Zirkzee we will get that, or like obviously he's got a goal today, but he does like to seen him an awful lot even in his cameo role there today. He's dropping out an awful lot as well.
Yeah, it seems to be that way though, don't he? He don't seem to be a natural finisher as such. He always likes to drop down from what I've seen him play.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Maybe him and Hoyle could play together, and then you've got it, haven't you? There.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you watch him, he drops in the pockets, but he makes some runs if he doesn't get the ball.
He doesn't stay in the pocket.
Exactly. Like if he doesn't get the ball, he'll make a run. He like the one time he overlaps from the pocket, he overlapped Bruno. Bruno just didn't give him the ball. Like he doesn't just get in the pocket and just sit there and be like, oh, okay, I didn't get the ball. No, he's moving. And that goal that he scored, I don't know about your commentary, but our commentary over here in the States, the guy was like, oh yeah, he must have just toe poked it. No, if you watch it in slow mo, he knew what he was doing and placed the ball inside of his foot to the far post. Like that's a goal scorer's goal. So I'm happy to see that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It wasn't just like he tried to put something on it and it got lucky and went there. No, he was going there. So
yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, while you're there, Chris, let's go down through. I suppose the performance itself. I want to start with Mason Mount. I was very impressed with him now specifically, and I mentioned it in the live a couple of times. His energy levels, his closing down. I think the closing down and the enthusiasm led to him actually getting a yellow card, which was a little silly. But I thought we lost an awful lot of control when he went off the field. That kind of, him and Bruno do like to put their foot in the ball and are able to play. And I think when we changed, now obviously Ten Hag was going for it a little bit more, bringing Joshua Zirkzee on. But overall, I was really impressed. How did you find his performance?
I was very happy with him. Like you said, Jack, all your points are valid. I mean, we had more control of the ball, but I mean, at that point, you're basically playing with 5 midfielders or four midfield, like 4 straight center midfielders, which you would hope if you do that, you control the ball more than anything. But I did like his levels. I did. The problem is that him in the false 9 role or in that, I mean, he just you don't have any goal scoring from the center of the park at that point, But I do like his energy levels. I do like what he was doing. I do like the runs he was making and how he controlled the ball and the passes that he was doing. And he looked more leader. Like he wasn't he wasn't just a passenger. He was commanding and
It was a
orchestrating
mature
stuff.
performance.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. I mean, I think that could be a good thing. The question now is, do we, Mr. 442 isn't here, but do you end up playing? Bruno, and you play 4 straight midfielders, and maybe you play Zirkzee and Holland or someone up top, or Hoyland at up top, and everything like that. But I mean, he played really well. I was very impressed. So
yeah. Ben, what did you make of it? Obviously, it's going to be a big season for Mason Mount, and he, after last season with the injuries, and I mentioned it a couple of times. I think he probably will find himself out of the team a lot more when we do have that focal point, that striker back in the team. But he's going the right way about keeping his place.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you say, we've got an option there. If we want to play the false 9, he's there, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the opposition who we're playing. Like the false 9 today against Fulham, it's not ideal because you'd want the striker up top, wouldn't you? Because your big teams will take more risks. It'll leave the gaps for the false 9s to get into there, won't it? So
yeah, absolutely. And we've seen that false 9 work, against the likes of your Man Cities and your Liverpools and stuff like that in the past as well. Let me get down through some of the comments before we move on, guys. Party Pooper says, thank the Lord for that win. Reese says, take your pictures, we're top of the league. All right, let's all fucking take a breather here now. I don't want anyone clipping anything up here. Call the season off now, says Finn. D says, 3 points is 3 points. Fulham threw everything at us defensively to survive. We leapfrog on and up from here. Only negative was those first game blues that Bruno was suffering from. Well, look, I mean, I remember Alex Ferguson talking about it years ago, even saying that if he was offered a draw every first game of the season, he would take it, because the legs are a bit, they're not up to 100% and so on. So happy days. Ben says, good start to the season. Brian says 3 points, that's all that matters. Yet again, so wasteful in front of goal. D says, was going to come on, but kids are tearing the house down after I ran through it screaming because of our Joshua's big toe. Next time, pal. Mazraoui was amazing. Right, well, let's talk about Mazraoui on that point, Chris. I was very, very impressed with him. Does the simple things right, looks composed on the ball, is able to defend well, reads the game really well, covers his centre halves really well, and gets up the field. I was very, very impressed with him. What did you make of it?
100%. We were calling him Maserati at this point because he looked like it. He was doing everything right. He looked like, his timing on tackles, his tracking back, his even going forward. He doesn't try to do too much going forward, but he's there as an option. I can't say enough about him, and everybody's, I listened to all the pundits and everything, and like Gary Neville before the game, I don't know if these 2 guys and, the bench players from Bayern are going to be good enough. I'm like, yeah, he's good enough. Like, if he plays like that every game, like, I'm sorry, Diego Dalot may end up on the left side, and Mazraoui may be on the right side, and Luke Shaw may be sitting on the bench at that point. Because
absolutely,
he played a great game. Like, I don't think he made, like, all his tackles were spot on. And let's be honest, he got here on Tuesday, Monday.
Yeah.
So, like, he was in on tackles. He, timing was perfect. He controls the ball. He plays the ball right. He plays the ball where it needs to be played. And I can't wait to see him go forward a little bit more. To see what he can do. Crossing balls in and all that kind of stuff. Like, I hate to say this, but I didn't miss Aaron Wan-Bissaka at that moment because of the way he played. And that's not a dig on him because
I know.
We all said the one thing about Wan-Bissaka is you can always trust him on a tackle, and you can, he's always at the last minute making that tackle and everything like that. Well, Mazraoui wasn't too far off of that.
Yeah. 100%. Guys, please smash a like on the video as well. 55 watching, only 9 likes. You should be ashamed of yourselves with that kind of returns. Get the thumbs up buttons going there and subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. Ben, just to finish up on Mazraoui, coming in, like Chris was saying there, he's coming in and he's only been here since Tuesday. I presume it has to be the case that playing with Erik ten Hag in the past makes a huge difference when you're bringing players in and playing them straight away like that. It has to.
Yeah, definitely. It weren't even like it was his debut. It's like he's been there all day, done it. So
yeah.
You just come straight in and fit in.
Yeah, I thought that as well. I thought he fitted straight into the back four. He didn't look out of place, and I was very impressed. I have to say, very impressed.
Well, they were saying before the game, and I don't know how true it was, but Mazraoui actually had a full preseason with Bayern because he traveled with them and he
exactly.
Went,
yeah, he did. Yeah,
De Ligt didn't, because by the time we were in for De Ligt, it was basically, I want to go to United, so I'm really not training, or I'm not, Bayern didn't include him in anything. So I mean,
yeah.
But I'll be honest, when De Ligt came on, he likes to play the ball forward.
Oh, of course, absolutely, he does. You do not play as a centre back at Ajax if you don't like playing the ball out from the back.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple times the guy's barreling down and he made the one pass, and I'm like, that's a ballsy pass right there. Like, he's and and it's not, no offense to Harry Maguire, but it's not a long floating ball. Like, he's playing penetrating balls through the midfield. So I'm excited for that. I am.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, talk to me about Harry Maguire while you're there, Chris, because had a very, very, very good game as well. I think he was up there with one of our best players today. Probably a shoe-in for one of the players of man of the match, I would say, quite easily. Well, look, credit where credit is due. But look, I think when everybody is fit, in the middle of the season, I think his game time is going to be limited. But is there an argument for keeping him as a squad player? Or I know we spoke before about he's probably one of the only players that we could realistically get some decent money for, and he's on big wages. What's your thoughts on him after tonight's performance?
I mean, I can't take anything away from him. He saved us on the 2-on-1 break in the second half, with his big size 14, 15 shoe. I don't know what he wears, but they're big. They look bigger on TV because he wears like green shoes. So it's like, but I'm like going, but I'm like, I can't take anything away from him. I made fun of him at the beginning of the game because it takes like an eternity for him to decide where he's going to play the ball. Like he takes a touch and he kind of goes, okay, now where I'm going to go. But no, I think he played really well defensively. I mean, do I want to sell him? Yeah, because I'd like to bring someone else in. But at the same time, if he wants to fight for his job, okay, let him fight. He's not going to get it. Let's just throw that out there. But if he wants to be there and fight and he plays like this, I don't mind having him as a squad player. I really don't at this point. But I just don't want it to turn into, I'm doing everything I can and I still don't get a chance. Yeah, because you're not good enough. Let's just throw that out there. Because I can't wait to see De Ligt. The way when De Ligt came in and where he was playing and where Martinez will be playing, like, it may give me a little bit of like butterflies because they play so high.
Yeah,
but, man,
and we're not used to that as Man United fans the last few years.
Not. And I'm sitting there going, man, this is going to be exciting, good and bad, but at the same time. But you got to remember, then if they're playing that high, you guarantee Onana is going to be way outside of his box. So any of those through balls, he's going to just come and clean them. But I think Maguire played really well. I mean, I'm glad he's taking the mentality that he is, because he's going to be serviceable for the next couple games at this point.
Do you think there's ever a scenario, Chris, where Ten Hag would go with Maguire and De Ligt and leave out Martinez specifically for height? Because we are a very small team, and you see with set pieces today, we do quite struggle underneath them when we haven't got big men in there.
Like for a full game?
Yeah, maybe so, depending on the opposition.
No. I think if anything, you'll see if we're winning in the second half, maybe he'll bring him in as a defensive, stalwart and to win the ball. So then you have De Ligt but I think you lose too much if you take Martinez out, because you won't be able to play through the back. It would be like an onslaught. They'd be coming in waves at us. And you're just hoping that you can defend well enough to do it. I think that at this point, Maguire is, with Lenny Euro hurt, he's third choice center back, and he's going to get minutes because, you're going to rotate guys in and out and everything like that. You're going to have to with all the games that we're supposed to play. So, I get it, but if someone came in with an offer of 25 plus 5, I'd sell him.
Okay. Fair enough.
I would go and if you had the time, I would reinvest that into someone that you're going to be able to put into the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get down through some of the comments here. Daryl says Mazraoui played unreal and De Ligt was good when he came on. Thought Mount did well and was a big miss when he came off. He had a great chance to score as well. It would have really topped off a good performance. Great goal from Zirkzee, says Raymond. Van Nistelrooy would be proud of that one. He certainly would. D says, the link up for the final third dropped off a bit when Mount came off. Rashford should be dropped and Garnacho and Ahmad start with Bruno. Dylan says, how didn't Garnacho score that at the end? That was a calamity, an absolute calamity. But they're the kind of chances we're going to have to start taking, putting teams away. Finn says, we could have ripped them apart if we scored an early one, but this result suits us. Feet on the ground, lots of work to do, absolutely. Hiding the shit in it now, says Dylan. Let's see. Chong says, amazing guys, honestly, I have a feeling we're going to win the title this year.
Wow. Okay, Chong, easy.
Chong, I love your enthusiasm. But I don't think so. Onana, massive saves today, firm defence, and an outstanding overall play. Zirkzee on top of his game. Well, I can't disagree with any of them points either, but it's putting it together over a 38-game season. D says, I'll tell you something now, lads and ladies. If we can keep fitness, tell the rest of the league Eric's got it figured out. His players are there. You lot better start running. I'm loving the enthusiasm. It's unbelievable what a goal 3 minutes from time can do. Because if that goal didn't come, none of these fucking comments.
So I got a question for you, Jack.
Go on then.
Who had the better game? Or let's go to Ben on this one. Rashford or Ahmad?
Ahmad.
Wow. I don't think so. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Right. Go on, Ben.
It's a tough one because I don't think Ahmad got enough of the ball.
Yeah.
If he had more of the ball, I think it would have been a big standout thing. But I think he did more with the ball when he had the chances.
Yeah, I would. It's a tough one. I would probably if you're looking at say what Ben is saying there, and if you averaged out the amount of chances they both got and who looked more dangerous, I think Ahmad looked way more dangerous than Rashford. I thought Rashford didn't have a bad game. I thought he looked lively. He looked good going forward. He actually worked back as well, quite well. But if you're talking about a forward player, you know, getting at the fullback and looking like creating something, I would say Ahmad.
Okay, but all right. So let me push back on that. But
yep,
we saw something out of Rashford. We haven't seen him. I want to say ever. He should have had an assist because Garnacho should have scored a goal. He played the ball across numerous times that we had nobody in the center of the park.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about looking dangerous. That's what we wanted him to do before. Instead of being selfish and shooting the ball, he's starting to do those things. And like you said, he started to work back. And I honestly think he worked back better than Ahmad did.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. Well, absolutely, I would. Yeah. I'm a bit selfish with my wing players, you know, and I'm going, you know, like Ryan Giggs never tracked back, but I love them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And whereas Beckham on the other side, you know, would always be up and down and, you know, probably, you know, covering through the middle and so on and so forth. But no, look, I mean, we're you know, we're nitpicking over two positives here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, I can't complain about either of them at all. Let me ask you, while you're on there, Chris, as well. Finishing. Now, obviously, you know, brilliant to see Zirkzee getting his goal. It's still a concern, though. It has to still be a concern. When you look at the amount of chances we got, and I know it's the first game of the season, and Bruno should have had 2, Mount should have had 1, even Casemiro probably could have had 1 as well. Is it a concern going forward, especially with Rasmus being out?
Yes. But I think it's more of a concern because we're starting to play a certain way that we're not used to playing. Like Rashford's putting the ball across. Amad Diallo, even in preseason now, is putting the ball across instead of being selfish and shooting. So I think we have to get the correct runs and have people in the correct positions. So we will have people there, and the finishing will be better. Like the one that Mason Mount missed, like it's easy to say in hindsight when he probably should have just taken it instead of trying to hit it first time low. Take a touch and go past the goalkeeper, and then you can slot it behind him because the goalkeeper was coming out. He could have went past the goalkeeper and slotted it in. It's easy to say after the fact, but at the same time, like I don't expect Mason Mount that's not his forte. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's not the number 9. And but I do agree with you that we need to be more clinical on our finishing. But I like the one ball that Rashford played across when Garnacho was on. Garnacho was sitting on the far post. He didn't make a run to the middle of the goal.
Yeah.
When he played that across. So I think it's more of, that's where I think Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to look at him in training tomorrow or this weekend or whenever they get back and say, you have to make that run to mid goal.
Yeah.
You can't just sit back here and then you make it easy on the defender. Like you got to crash the box. And if it goes all the way through, then it goes all the way through, but you at least have a chance to score.
Yeah.
At that point.
Absolutely. Let me get down through some more of the comments here. Ahmad looked effective. Rashford looked lively, but not that effective. I think that's probably, going forward, I would say maybe. He still seems to be that, that kind of taking on the fullback and kind of nearly tiptoeing. And you're always waiting for that heavy touch to come. Or for, he's trying to cut inside and nutmeg a lad, maybe, rather, he just doesn't look confident still, fully confident taking on a fullback.
I don't think he tries to, and I don't know if I'm going to say this right, he tries to determine what he's going to do instead of predetermining what he's going to do. Like, he doesn't have a thought in his head. To me, it looks like he doesn't have a thought, well, if I get the ball, I'm going to go and do this first and try it. Instead, he gets the ball and then looks and goes, okay, what am I going to do? Like, I think it's, and honestly, I think it's a confidence thing. I think he just needs to, he needs.
I was going to say, he just needs to skin somebody, don't he, and score, and then he'll be there, won't he?
Yeah. I think so. I think Ruud's going to get in his head and just be like, dude, I don't care what happens. I want you to take the ball, take it on your left foot and take him down to the end line. Keep doing that. And then that's going to, if you keep doing that repetitiously, it's going to open something up because the defender will automatically say, well, I don't want him to do that anymore. So he may overstep and then you can cut in. Like, I think he's trying to wait. It's like a waiting game. I get the ball. What are you going to do? Well, what are you going to do? And, well, now I got to do something and I don't know what I'm going to do. And, so I just think he just needs to be more confident and more, what's the word?
Composed,
or he needs to be on the front foot more.
Yeah. And nothing like a couple of goals to help you do that anyway. So let's hope they come. Daryl says, Ahmad all day. Rashford's a shadow of himself. Forget him. D says, Rashford's done more tracking back, which is good to see, but he's dull in the final third. Dylan says, wish that goal was McTominay's, so Fulham would buy the brick. And we go get Ugarte. You're on a roll tonight, Dylan, in fairness to you. Right, Keane was happy, so something must be going right, says D. It's the new Ruud style of attacking. It's just not fully formed yet, but the lads will get it. Cheeky little loan deal for a mature striker might be a shout, says Finn, if there's any available. Wait 5-6 games and we will fully adapt to the play style and play the way Ten Hag is trying to. Loan deal for Lookman. I don't know. Let's see. Thoughts on Kobbie Mainoo today. I thought Kobbie was good today. You know what I mean? Kobbie is always composed on the ball. He still looks maybe a week or two short of full fitness, I think.
He was making some play. There's a couple of times that they barely just got a toe in and stopped him from doing something special.
Yeah.
You know? And I think he was, like you said, I think he's just a little heavy-footed right now because he's not. I don't think there's a lot of them that aren't fully fit, I think, at this point.
Absolutely. Let's see. Dylan says, I think we played great today. Defence was great. Midfield was great. Attack was okay. But I think we played brilliant. Finn says, Ahmed was great. Balanced, moving at speed with the ball. Yeah, very impressed with that. When Rashford moves at speed, he struggles to change directions. Graham says, so have we already seen the worst miss of the season? I hope fucking so. Because if there's one worse than that, I don't want to even be looking at it. What's that, Josh? Someone said that. Josuelu fella doing. I don't know. I can't even pronounce his name, let alone what he's fucking doing.
Saudi Arabia.
All right. Okay. Dylan says, Ten Hag said in the press conference that the boys aren't fully fit, so explains it. Yeah, I mean, that's always the way. And Ferguson used to say that as well, didn't he? You know, it'd take 3-4 weeks of games to get up to full speed. Lads, I think we'll leave it there. Good opening match reaction. Really enjoyed it. And do you know what? The numbers have been absolutely phenomenal tonight. We have nearly 1,500 people have been tuning in over the last 20 minutes, which is unbelievable numbers. So, guys, if anyone is new, please do smash a like on the video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Lads, I'll chat to you during the week. We have the quiz coming up during the week, so I'll rendezvous and we'll see what the story is about that. Yeah. All right? Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Everyone else, guys, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it as always. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification as well. You get notified every time we go live. I'm going to be back on Monday night with our news show as always. Or am I? No, I don't think I'm around Monday. So I'll be back Tuesday night. Sorry. I'll be back Tuesday night with the news show. So please do join us for that as well. I appreciate everyone watching. We broke the 11,000 subscriber mark tonight as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. I do appreciate every single one of you. I love doing these videos, so if you keep liking and subscribing, I'll keep doing them. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll chat to you Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Come on, the Reds, top of the table. Get in there.